Well, I got with me Tanya, August-Hanson, and also Judy Edge from the Post Office. I think probably one of the biggest parts of question time here at Tynwald today was definitely about the Post Office. I think maybe to explain first of all, you were answering all the questions as the deputy sort of thing, and yet we have the chairman here, so can we just deal with that one?
Well, obviously, when I seen the question paper and it was asking the question of the Vice Chair, I did clarify that with the President, and he did say that it was in order for any member to ask any member of Tynwald a question that was in the public interest. So it went ahead as the Vice Chair, although Mr Hooper did stand up, and there was some discussion with regards to the Clerk of Tynwald's office had changed it this morning. I'm a little surprised at that when I wasn't informed. So,
got many pictures of you rolling eyes, but we'll come to that maybe in a second. You weren't happy, but were you happy to take the question?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think it brought clarity, or did it just seem to create more uncertainty?
I think that at the moment, while we're actually trying to come to some level of understanding as to what the Post Office is wanted to do by the public, because we're trying to come to some sort of a deeper understanding off the back of the public consultation with these focus groups, and if it's in progress. It is in progress. So of course it's going to be a confusing time for Tynwald members and for other people as we kind of progress to a sort of understanding as to how what the future looks like for the Post Office.
It seemed to muddy the waters. Is that fair enough to say that people weren't happy with the answers they were getting?
People aren't going to be happy with answers that they're getting, but the question itself is asking of the Post Office to explain what the conclusions of a piece of research might be before it's actually been fully concluded. It needs that time for us to be innovative with the public, get the ideas flowing, concepts better understood and debated amongst these focus groups in order for us to be able to come to these levels of conclusion so that we can provide a little more clarity for Tynwald members.
Focus groups, I mean, really? I mean, you've got everything else going on. Isn't that what's caused the problem here today?
Yeah, but obviously we want to be open and transparent to the people of the island to ensure that we've reached out as much as possible. It was part of the consultation to agree that we'd do focus groups. We asked people during the consultation, so those that have responded have been involved in the focus groups. And I think it's important, Paul, that we do get the views of the Manx public, because it's very diverse views that we're getting through. And the most important thing for the Post Office is to ensure we've listened to as many people as possible. And it would, our Tynwald members need to be doing the same. If I'm not sure if any of them went to the focus groups themselves, but they've obviously, some of them have had some response from some of their constituents, perhaps from the focus groups. But it's a gathering exercise to ensure that we're moving forward in the right direction.
Mr Hooper was irking you. I mean, I say that because you were looking quite upset almost with what he was coming out with. I mean, why?
I just found it really disappointing that our sponsoring department members are not up to speed with where the Post Office is at. We produce our minutes, they go down to the department, and I just feel that we do need all members of Tynwald to come on board, tell us their concerns, and we can ensure that that's included in any of the work we're doing. Nothing will go unturned, Paul. There's been so much work done at the Post Office. They're working really hard, as well as everything else that's going on, and we've got a great workforce, and we want to make sure that we sustain the Post Office for the future of the workforce without redundancies. I've said that from the outset. There'll be no compulsory redundancies or anything, and that's what we're aiming to do. And a number of members in there feel that we can just go to Treasury and ask for more money. That's not the intention of the Post Office Board. We want to do it with the income that we have and make sure it's there for the future of the people of the island.
And you were saying the same thing. You didn't feel you had the support of people that you should have had support from.
I would say that it would be nice to be able to have an additional level of support, but again, it's a very, very turbulent time at the moment where we're actually trying to kind of graft what the public actually wants for the Isle of Man Post Office. Until we have a greater and deeper understanding of what the public wants, we're not going to be able to provide answers in Tynwald.
And I think it's important to point out again that the retail network and all of the sub-postmasters, they're individual businesses that are operating. They get paid by Isle of Man Post Office to run services, and people need to remember that this is declining, and they're all on board with us. We have various meetings with our sub-post officers as well, and the head union guys being very supportive in a lot of the changes, and they want to know what's happening to them for the future. One of the biggest impacts that's happening to them is DOI and the vehicle licensing in that. So they've been on board for a long time because it's their business, it's their futures as well, and their decisions they're going to have to take with regards to their own individual business if the decline of some of the government services. But we're looking at, we have gone out to all government departments to see if there is any services that the Post Office can be offering, and I think that's key to the future of the island and the communities, to make sure we're offering frontline services through our network if possible.
Okay, are you both happy to stay with this? You're happy to keep on the board and get people more on your side?
And until we actually have the results from the research that's being undertaken at the moment, there's always going to be this level of turbulence in Tynwald. No, we're not intending on going anywhere.
Do you think you might be pushed though?
But Paul, at the end of the day, I've had 2 boards now. I've had 2 vice chairs. It's not an easy job, but at the end of the day, I think we've made great progress, and my intention is to continue to ensure that we have that post office model for the future.
And just to wrap up, I haven't seen you since the announcement that you've come to agreements with the union. Are you happy with that?
Well, obviously there's still some work to be done, but it's a good outcome. The workforce have voted unanimously. I think it was 87%. And at the end of the day, that's where we need to get to make sure that we can move forward with our workforce, who we really do value them and the work that they do for the public of the island. And I think again, some of the Tynwald members mix up that the postal side of the business is completely different to the retail side. They are private businesses. We employ the postal workers, and our intention is to continue making progress, moving forward and bringing the workforce with us.
It's not an easy job.